Cue the spotlight, shine them bright. Gonna have a brand new show tonight with glitz and glam on the marquee. Perhaps a Tony nominee. Stars beam brightly, see them glow. Sell out nightly, SRO. It's time to applaud the Broadway beat. Stars beam brightly, see them glow in the footlights of a show. Life is sweet on the world's most famous street.
Tickets, please.
Take a seat
Cue the band.
and have your feet to the rhythm of the Broadway beat. The Broadway beat. Broadway beat.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge, and welcome to Broadway Beat, our behind-the-scenes look at the very best of what the New York theater has to offer. This week we have two new productions, a Disney and a Sondheim. We'll take you to the opening night celebration of Disney's newest musical to open on Broadway, The Little Mermaid, which is based on one of their most successful animated films of all time. It stars Sherry Renee Scott as the villainess Ursula, and making her Broadway debut is Sierra Boggess as everyone's favorite mermaid, Ariel. One of Disney's most beloved and successful animated films of all time, The Little Mermaid, has been adapted for the stage and is just opened at the Lunt Fontanne Theatre. Guiding the show along is esteemed opera director Francesca Zambello. The score features all the classic songs from the film, which were composed by 8-time Academy Award winner Alan Menken and his partner, the late Howard Ashman, and 10 new songs written by Mr. Menken and Glenn Slater. The production features a book by Pulitzer Prize winner Doug Wright. We caught up with them and the cast, which includes Sherry Renee Scott, Titus Burgess, Sean Palmer, Norm Lewis, and Broadway newcomer Sierra Boggess, who's making her debut as everyone's favorite mermaid, Ariel.
It's been a joyous experience. It's been a 3.5-year process from when I met Tom Schumacher. We were joking about it the other day. We had our first dinner over sushi just 3.5 years ago. And most people, I don't think, realize it takes 3 to 5 years to make a musical. It's a long process. And so the development through creating the work, all the additional new material, and then, of course, finding the visual language, the movement language has all been a big process, a big challenge, and one that's been very, very gratifying.
So what has the last month been like for you during your extended preview period to opening night?
Well, in a funny way, the last month was actually the easiest month because we froze the show just before Christmas. So it's really been letting the performers own the material now and giving it to them. So the last month, in a way, has not been the most stressful. There have been more stressful months earlier on.
I would say being entrusted by Alan Menken to work on material that he's lived with for 20 years and that's so beloved by so many. And so it was really a treat. I've been feeling like an 8-year-old kid for the last 6 months, and it's made me feel like one of these guys, and that's a really welcome thing.
Congratulations, welcome home. Good to see you guys. Take a wave. Give a high five.
I think the language of the show was great for me to do, to have different language, to find these shoes that you can dance on. And the company are just so talented, and it's just making it your own, making it more fluid, and not having wires or water was a big thing. So to have these shoes, which are Heelys, which we call MERMAIDs, with these brilliant instrument we had. So hopefully it worked. Keep my fingers crossed.
What was the easiest part of the show to make dance, and what was the most challenging for you?
The most challenging was Under the Sea, because not everybody were dancers. I only have 4 dancers in the show. But the whole company had to learn to dance and then put the shoes on and balance completely different. So that was the most challenging. The easiest thing is the smaller numbers with Ariel on her own. She's just beautiful. The duet with Ariel and Eric, One Step Closer, was a real joy for me to do.
A dance is like a conversation. except you never need to make a sound. And once you've begun, you speak as one, give and take, back and forth, round and round.
It's been, I mean, Alan is such a glorious composer, and to be able to have the opportunity to step into Howard Ashman's shoes, very big shoes I might add, and help burnish this jewel in the Disney crown has been such a wonderful experience. With Alan, you always know you're going to get a gorgeous sounding song, so a lot of pressure on me to not fall down on my end of the deal, but I'm very happy with the way it's all turned out.
Glenn is a perfect foil, perfect complement to Howard. Has a similar intelligence, a similar ability to reach the zeitgeist of our culture in terms of the smartness of his lyrics and the it's just his sense of craft is I think on a par with Howard's. Now, nobody is Howard Ashman, and there is nobody who can replace him. But I really felt most proud about the seamlessness of the score and the way we were able to protect the original 7 songs and keep them up front and still create 10 other songs that are able to be the glue between them and I think equal them.
How proud would Howard have been tonight to have been here at this opening?
I think Howard would have been pleased. I think he would have been proud. I think he would have had other ideas here and there. You never knew what they would have been. And I never will know what they would have been. But I've always feel that angel on my shoulder. So I think he would be pleased.
It's not my first Disney Prince, but it's actually, I have to say that I don't feel like there's shackles to being a Disney Prince or any other. It's the story, and it's a fantastic story. And if you really look at the literature that it comes from, it's such a beautiful story about the growth process and finding yourself and establishing your stance outside of your family. I mean, there's just a wealth of things to mine from this material, and I think that's where that's our responsibility every night, is to go and find that stuff. So whether it's Disney or not, like, I'm glad that that audience enjoys it, but I don't feel restricted to being a Disney Prince. I think it's just it's storytelling like anything.
Well, I guess my look is it's very kind of uptight, buttoned up, and I suppose it's really the only one of the few costumes in the show you can actually tell what period we're in. It takes place sometime in the early 18th century, so it's, they sort of used me in that way, I guess, that character.
One of my daughters and her daughter are coming to see it in July. I've already booked tickets, so I guess I'm confident.
Well, I know it's sold out, but you know the director, so you'll get tickets.
Oh, honey, I'm never going to worry about that. I'll call Mother Disney and say, oh, please, Mother Disney, help me. But I am so proud of every one of those cast members. Richard, they are all fabulous. And Sherry Renee Scott, bang on. Alan Menken did such a good translation of Ursula from being up on a screen to being in the theater. That's different, Richard. In the movie house, the camera is the verb and does all the action for us. In the theater, the poor actors have to do all of that, and she is everybody in the cast is fabulous, but I was, of course, looking out for her moves because I wanted to see how she was going to do. She did great.
Poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need. This one longing to breathe thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed. Those poor unfortunate souls, so sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron, crying, spells, Ursula, please, and I help them. Yes, I do.
First of all, Pat Carroll and I share the same acupuncturist, so we were able to joke that we both get poked by the same man once a week. So we not only share Ursula in common, but we do share that, which is nice. And she said to me something really great, that she has children and I have a child, and she said, don't ever forget that what you're doing is not only making people feel better, it's good for families. And in this time, to have a musical that's good for families, you should be so proud of yourself. And I said, you know what, I am. I feel really strongly that whatever art we send out into the world right now needs to be healing and beautiful and have heart, and this show does.
Oh, we're totally connected.
And off stage.
Yeah. See? Flotsam and Jetsam, we are Ursula's minions. We, carry out her bad deeds. That's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, and slither a lot.
Yes.
Tell me what the best part of this experience has been with working on this piece and leading up to tonight.
I think working with the creative team and Alan and Francesca, Stephen, Tom Schumacher, and the cast has been really marvelous. It's been, like I said, 9 months, so we've really gotten to know each other as a family. So, yeah, and the story is beautiful.
The story is great. We kind of flesh out our characters a little bit, or they're a little more prominent in the play as opposed to the movie. So we enjoy creating that and exploring that.
It took a while to prepare for this. It took a while for us to figure out what's going on, and my involvement has only been since I found out December 23rd, 2006. But Disney has been working on this for years, so I can't imagine the number of incarnations the show has gone through. But we started rehearsals May 29th of last year, took it to Denver, had a successful run. We sold out the entire run. And, the audience plays a very important part in telling the show's creators and the actors what's working, what's not. So thank God we had an out-of-town tryout. It changed the life of the show, and it changed the direction of the show. It changed the intention of the show. And we were able to come back and cut and snip and piece together, make concise, and what we hope is a wonderful, thrilling evening of theater.
I see her sitting there across the way. She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her. And you don't know why, but you're dying to try. You wanna kiss that girl.
Right. Well, King Triton, obviously the king of the sea, and he has to, look over all his creatures underneath. This story is mainly pushing about the father-daughter story and that relationship. And I've even had a lot of fathers come up to me afterwards and say, you hit it right on the head. You hit the nail on the head with not wanting to let them go and protecting them and just sometimes even being overprotective. And I think I love that. I get to play a king on Broadway, and it doesn't matter what color I am. And it's like I have 7 different daughters of different races, and you see all kinds of races on that stage. And it doesn't talk about race, but it does talk about race in a way. It talks about tolerance. So I love that part of it, and I love just showing up to work, and everybody backstage is amazing, and, we just get along so well.
I'm so thrilled with Sierra. She's just filled with unbelievable joy. And when I heard Part of Your World, I just fell apart. It was just gorgeous. Really gorgeous.
Share a favorite memory. I mean, everybody knows you're the voice of Ariel in the wonderful Disney animated film. What was the best part of doing that?
Recording that song, with Howard and Alan right there, and Ron and John behind the glass, and working on it for 7 hours straight, and just turning off the lights, and Howard telling me how to get in that moment. It was it's a moment I'll never forget, and that does come up in my mind when I hear that song. So it was a glorious night, and I'm so thrilled, and I'm very honored and blessed to be a part of it.
Did it really happen tonight? Are we sure that just happened?
This was your favorite movie growing up, but and now to sort of recreate her, make her your own Ariel for the stage must be so amazing for all the little girls you're touching now.
Yeah, absolutely, because that's all that I thought of tonight, because before I went on stage, I felt my heart was pounding because I just was so excited, and there was so much anticipation, and everyone was just feeling this excitement. And then to center myself, I'm like, all I have to do tonight is share Ariel. That's all that I have to do. I have nothing to prove, only to share, and I had to just give her to the audience and the world tonight the best way that I could. So
let's talk about the reaction at the stage door with all the little girls and the people your age that saw this movie.
Absolutely. I get a lot of children, and I get people my age and even older who are just like me, who adore this movie and just they love it, and that's really cool for me to meet these people that this movie and this character especially has touched a lot of people. It's really amazing. So, and the kids are so cute with their dresses, Ariel, and they're wide-eyed and it's unbelievable.
And to be working with Alan Menken, someone you totally admire, to sing Howard Ashman's lyrics and now Glenn Slater's. What's that been like?
It's been really amazing. I actually thought of Howard Ashman, though I had never met him. him, but I thought of him tonight while I was on stage singing Part of Your World, and it gave me a sense of calm, because before I sang that song, I'm like, I mean, this is the song for me, and this is this amazing song, and I really was trying to stay calm and present, and I thought of him, and I know he was looking down on this show, and Alan especially, and
My final question for you is, what is the last thing you do that puts you on track for Ariel when you're getting ready before you go on stage? What's the last thing you do that says, she's complete now, I'm ready to go on?
Well, usually once I get my wig on, it's about 5 minutes until places. So when my wig goes on, I'm absolutely transported, because it's amazing. I mean, that's Ariel, this hair. And so once I'm there, then whatever, I still have to get dressed, but I'm already there. So I guess it's my hair. When it's my turn, wouldn't I love to explore that shore above? Wish I could be